Listen, so we're pleased to be here today to announce really a shot in the arm to this great neighborhood, which had some vacancies, had some issues, and this is really a day for this neighborhood to turn the page because of wise government investments and good collaboration with a number of very, very capable community groups. So the Attorney General's receivership program has been very well used in New Bedford, and I would say, with apologies to folks who represent other parts of the state, as well done here as anywhere else. And the reason for that is really twofold. One is a close collaboration with the Attorney General's office, and secondly, a real commitment by folks in city government to put neighborhoods back in business. And that's what really this is about today. There are lots of folks to thank for making really this new opportunity for this neighborhood to work, new opportunity for this neighborhood, also new opportunity for first-time home buyer who will be eligible to buy this place and get those 2 autographed basketballs, by the way. But we're really this is a program, the receivership program was something that came out of, or was at least strengthened in the wake of the 2008 foreclosure crisis as a way of recognizing that through a little bit of the right types of investment, targeted investment, neighborhoods can come back. This isn't a program that spreads money around aimlessly. It's really a way of targeting the right house in the right place, knowing that good investment will beget more good investment in a neighborhood and a higher quality of life. So this isn't a program where it can reach every dilapidated house. It's not a program that can reach every last corner that needs a little TLC, but it's one where if you use the right way through both state and local resources, it can make a big difference. We've seen it again and again in many of our neighborhoods. So let me just thank some, and there are so many people to thank here, but I just wanted to say, first of all, of course, to the Attorney General, who is fully committed to all of this, and I'll turn it over to her in a second. But Attorney General Maura Healy, like anybody else coming in office, had decisions to make about resources. So what are your priorities? Where can the state make a difference? Now, she knows that the levers of her office can be best used not just in enforcing the Mass General Code, both criminally and civilly, but also in facilitating investments in communities to make communities stronger, because when communities are made stronger, her work becomes, as the chief law enforcement officer of the state, becomes all the easier. And so I remember having a number of conversations with her about this program and how it's made a difference in our city. And she recognized, I think, that it's worth her office's while, her office's resources, and the energy and commitment of her talented staff. So kudos to the Attorney General above all for recommitting her office to this very successful program. We're very grateful for it in New Bedford. There are lots of folks in city government to thank. Liz Tredup, who wears, as I've said earlier, wears so many hats, not just as my public information officer, but as the attorney in city government, who has been leading on the receivership program and been doing it very skillfully. The folks in our local Attorney General's office, led by Steve Marshallek. Where's Steve? Steve's around here somewhere. Oh, he's up there on the perch. Great job. Steve has been involved in so many of these projects and has worked so well with city government to get housing back online, neighborhoods back online. Folks like DPI and city government, the Department of Housing and Community Development, led by Pat Sullivan. Lori Mooring is here on Pat's behalf. Lori's been involved in these. Joe Maya, lots of folks, Eddie, everybody else who's been involved from that department in this project. TRI, Mike Galasso from TRI is here, another person who sees the value in these things. Bristol County Savings Bank, Bay Coast, a number of the lenders who have played a part. There's a long list. Lindsay Montero from the Neighborhood Task Force. there's a long list, and I go through it all because Marie Cashman, so many folks, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes a real team effort to pull all of this together. And so if I haven't named your name, it's not because you haven't played a part, it's only because we're only here for so long. Because the point being, we have a lot of folks who have devoted time and energy and resources to make this happen, because this will pay off. This will pay off. So in any event, I want to introduce our Attorney General, Maura Healy, who's doing a great job on so many fronts, and for whom we are so grateful, for the recommitment to this program, because as we have seen from our experience, it's money well spent on inner city neighborhoods like this one. Maura Healy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor Mitchell. Thank you. It's a beautiful day here in the city of New Bedford. A little windy, but that's all great. And it is just so great to be with you, Mr. Mayor. I'm so happy to be down here with my team from the Attorney General's office to celebrate this terrific partnership and collaboration. I want to especially thank Mayor Mitchell, who has been a friend to me, a wise counsel to me. We have talked a lot about a lot of issues, about how we in the Attorney General's office can further support the great work that he's got going on here in the city to ensure that New Bedford has every opportunity to thrive, and families have opportunities to thrive here in this great city with such terrific history and heritage. And that's what this is about, actually. You know, this program, the Abandoned Housing Initiative, is a program that I am so proud that the Attorney General's office will continue to support. It has been instituted for a number of years in our office, and we've seen the success and the benefit of this program. But this is exactly what we should be doing in government and the way that we should be working together in government. So I want to thank Mayor Mitchell for his leadership on so many issues, but particularly on this issue, his care and compassion and attention to the city and to neighborhoods and to families, and to a willingness to be such a terrific partner to us in the Attorney General's office, and to all on his terrific staff and teams in the various departments who worked so hard to not only make this property and today happen, but so many other properties across the city that have benefited from this partnership. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for inviting us down and hosting us, and thank you so much for your continued partnership and collaboration.
Thank you.
I also want to thank Steve Marshallek, who is chief of our New Bedford office. We have a strong regional presence here, a growing regional presence here. It's really important that we are an office that serves people across this great Commonwealth, and we proudly serve folks here in southeastern Mass. Dan Less from our office is here as well. Dan, for a number of years, has worked with Steve and others in the office on the Abandoned Housing Initiative. And where is Greg Dukermangian, who heads our Abandoned Housing Initiative in the Attorney General's office? Thank you to you and other members of our great team in the office for what you're doing. And thank you to Michael for all your work as receiver, working with partners to make today happen. It is amazing. I just had the benefit of touring the inside of this home with the mayor, and I see the pictures. You've seen the pictures. They were able to take through this program a property that was blighted in terrible decay and disrepair, and turn it into this wonderful home that will now be a great place for a family. Look at it, across from the park, down the street from the school. It is absolutely beautiful. And not just any family, but a family for whom this will be the first home. It's really great. So this is a great day to celebrate. For us, this program is about stabilizing, revitalizing our communities and our neighborhoods. We know, as the mayor said, that when properties fall into decay, bad things happen. Blight attracts more blight, and we need to work together to do everything that we can to address that. So this is such a win-win and a great way for government to work together. So I'm proud to be here, proud to partner with the mayor, with the city of New Bedford, and we'll look forward to finding more ways to work together. We'll find some more properties too. Find some more properties too. So thanks everybody so much for all of your efforts, and thank you again, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Now the history, so just by, it's interesting. I think I have the history right, and if I don't, Virginia Callis, who lives around the corner, will correct me, but this was the Harrington School for a long time, and the Harrington School burnt in like the 50s, and that was the Hathaway, where the school is now, that was the Hathaway playground. And after the school burnt down, they built the school over there, and they called it the Hathaway School after the playground name, and then called this Harrington Park after the original school name. I think that's the way. So, but this is an older neighborhood in the city, and it continues to it's becoming more and more stable, and it's great to be able to have a house with a porch looking out on a great park like this. All right, so we'll go across the street, and nobody's required to run through the splash pad, but you're welcome to do so. All right. All right, Act 2 of this press conference. So this is, as I said earlier, there's a great history to this park. I can remember, I'm one of these guys who, as a father who liked to tell tall tales about pickup basketball games right at this spot from the 1950s. And in the 1950s, as I mentioned earlier, the school over there was Hathaway Playground, and this was Harrington School. And people like Liz's uncle Marty Treadup and the legendary Gomes brothers and a number of others played pickup basketball games here. And my father spent a lot of time on that court, and it was sort of a very central place in the city for basketball competition, which was pretty neat. And then the school burnt down, and the functions of the two sites effectively switched. But this has always been, really since the 1890s, a fantastic neighborhood. It's so well framed by the housing, porches facing out onto the park, that we really need to make sure we make the right investments here to keep it a vibrant place. And it's had its bumps along the way, but we are committed to making this a safe neighborhood, a safe and vibrant neighborhood for all of our kids, not just the kids in this neighborhood, but for others all around the city to come and have fun. So over the course of the last couple of years, the city along with the state have invested a fair amount of money and even more sweat and energy into making this place a full-fledged recreational center that everybody can come and have fun at. And words only go so far to convey the potential for fun here. What's going on behind me over in the splash pad, I think, says it all. The city, under the leadership of the Department of Housing and Community Development, under Pat Sullivan's leadership. Pat has been sick, and so he wasn't able to be here today. But through the work of people like Richard Bruce and so many others in the office, really worked hard to provide this park with new state-of-the-art equipment and facilities. So let's just start with the basketball court, which is brand new and sports New Bedford manufactured True Bounce backboards, of course, because it's all about procuring local for us, and turns out that the best backboards made in America now are made right here in New Bedford by Eric Brito and True Bounce. And then you go over here, of course, to the splash pad and the tree plantings done by DPI. And the splash pad is great, and I will run through that in a suit one of these days, just not in a suit I like. But it's great. It's fantastic. The kids love it. We do meals in the park right here because we know that kids will come to this, and we want our kids fed so they can enjoy the park and have an opportunity to exercise and really live, really have fun and spend the day here. Mary Raposa, our Parks and Recreation Director, had a big part in shaping all this and shaping the programming around it as well. It's a safe park that has now security cameras going in so that the police can monitor it very well. But it's a big success, and it really is a. If you look at what we're trying to do as a city, we're trying to reactivate neighborhoods. We have built 3 brand new parks in the last year and a half in our city: Custom House Square, Rivers End Park, and the Allen Haskell Public Gardens. We've made major renovations to several other parks, to Brooklawn, to Buttonwood Park, the basketball courts there, and now at Harrington Park, and then there are more to come. And we've spent a lot of time and effort in making our parks look just so, because and have really avoided quarter cutting, because parks are, as Frederick Law Olmsted said, the lungs of the city. They are important. They're so important to neighborhood quality of life and the vitality of cities that they have to be done right. They have to be maintained well, but they have to be places that people just enjoy being in. It's such a big part of living in the city. They have public spaces that people like physically being in. And so this park right here fits the bill. It really does, and we're so pleased with all the work that our team has done. Ron LaBelle at DPI, Pat Sullivan, his team at Housing and Community Development, Mary Repose at Parks and Recreation. Great job all, and I think we're going to play a little bit of basketball. I think the Attorney General came better prepared than I. I think she's ready to run, and unless somebody has some scissors so I can cut off my suit pants, I don't think I'm going to be running too much, but I'll be there in spirit. But in any event, unless I can take questions offline, but I just really want to say this. We don't have an official ribbon cutting right now, but we have, I'm going to kick it off with with a basketball game. Robbie Mendes, Executive Director from the Boys and Girls Club, is here, who's brought some folks. I know that Sean Hargraves has brought some folks from Denison Memorial as well, so they can play ball. And we're going to have some fun. And it looks like the Attorney General's ready to go. All right, thanks everybody. Great job with this park. Nice work.